Pat Robertson is fired up about someone who wrote into his program, and it looks like the thing to get him fired up is when you talk about possibly taking some of his money, some of the church's money. Let's watch this little clip.
Okay, this is Wendy, who said, whose church are we? Are we God's church or the world's? Jesus said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, taxes. Why are churches taking a handout from the government? The just shall live by the government or by faith?
I don't know what handout you're talking about.
I don't either.
We don't take a handout from the government. Not paying taxes, it's your money. The fact the government doesn't take it away from you is not a government handout. And since time immemorial, what belongs to God is what belongs to God. And that money in the church is given by people to the Lord. It doesn't belong to the government. So that's not a handout to keep the government from taking it away from you. I think we've got this liberal mentality that everything that you have belongs to the government, and it's a benefit and privilege that they don't take it away from you. That's the reverse. It belongs to you, and they shouldn't take what belongs to God, okay?
Look, before we get to the substance of what he had to say, that spray tan, though. Like, I just can't focus on anything else. You can see the white around his eyes where they put the little goggles before they spray tan you. Aw. I don't like the spray tan, but the TV executives make me do it.
Yeah, you don't like John Boehner's granddad there?
Not into it. Okay, sorry
That's
for that.
okay. That is substantive, goddammit.
Yes.
But yeah, so you give the money, you're giving it to the Lord, but for some reason, Pat Robertson gets nice suits out of it and nice cars and gets to open up expensive diamond mines in Africa. For some reason, he has the nice house, even though you gave the money to the Lord. So is that a handout?
No, but then the Lord gave it back to him.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, the Lord.
It's like money laundering.
They have a shared account. They have a shared account.
Yeah.
Just like my wife and I, we can take him and
takes a lot
Pat
of
Robertson
trust.
and God. They both have a thing. It's nice how he says, it's not a handout, it's your money, you're giving it to God. And then we just, use all the infrastructure that the other taxpayers paid for. Like the lighting, the electricity, the sewer, the cops, the firemen. We use the streets, we use all that stuff.
Yep.
The power to enforce contracts that the government sets up for us through the courts, that's all paid for by people who pay taxes. We don't pay for any of it because we're hypocritical pieces of religious morons, right? And we don't care if we get revealed for being ridiculous and hypocrites. I don't even have to think about this to point out how hypocritical and ridiculous he's being. Like, it just flies right off me. You think at some point, go, wait a minute, we're using all the government services and infrastructure too, just like any other business, yet we don't have to pay for any of it. Maybe that is kind of a handout, but it never enters his brain because he's a white Christian, and we all know the biggest victims in America are white male Christians. When are they ever going to get their day?
And don't we have laws that prevent us from giving tax breaks to organizations that have a political agenda?
Yes.
And I think that's my biggest issue, right? So they're supposed to pay taxes if they're pushing a political agenda.
Yeah.
And I've heard Pat Robertson time and time again talk about, how gay rights shouldn't exist. That's a political ideology. It's part of a political ideology. So why is it that, that's allowed to happen? And look, Pat Robertson is one case, and unfortunately I don't have specific cases in front of me right now, but I mean, even when it comes to the issue of the Obama administration having private insurers cover birth control, the Catholic Church fought against that, right? They fought against the morning after pill being available over the counter. That's a political issue.
Yeah.
Why did you get involved, right? I mean, you're not supposed to have that tax-exempt status if you're pushing a political agenda.
Exactly.
And they did, but they still get those tax breaks.
Yeah, now normally when he says something ridiculous, we have to go and get the section from the Bible that directly contradicts what he's saying. Thankfully, in that case, the writer included it, the render unto Caesar what is Caesar. Like, he makes it's so clear in the Bible that you're supposed to pay your taxes. That's obviously expected of you. That's what you've done throughout history. But he's forgetting about it. And look, this is the perfect example of the inherent contradiction in conservative Christianity in America today. They want to be libertarian, but they also want to be conservative. He wasn't talking like a religious man there. He was talking like Rand Paul or some other Ayn Rand reading libertarian. Like, you're not supposed to be just glorifying capitalism. You're supposed to be throwing the money changers out of the temple.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
it's so easy for them to forget the founding philosophy of their religion.